Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining ProblemSolvHer. I'm your host, Chloe,
And I'm Dagmar.
and we are your hosts together. On this episode, we are going to keep this one short and sweet.
Yep.
This is more an about page of who we are and our backgrounds. And I'm going to interview Dagmar, and she's going to interview me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's normally how it works.
Oh, that's right. You ask each other questions, and away we go. So, Dagmar, first of all, you have a beautiful accent. You obviously came from Europe and you came from Germany. And I would love to know a little bit more of, I already know this, but this is for our audience, what year you came to America and what your first job was.
Okay. So, a little bit about my background in Germany. I already had not many, but several different jobs in Germany, from building designer over mayor assistant to marketing and business. But I think the most interesting aspect is that in Germany, it's an employee mindset. So you really go to school and study to become a great employee. And then your goal is to get great jobs and do a lot of education to get a better job. And the mindset in Germany is really not about being an entrepreneur. So as I came to the United States in early 2000, I was very excited to learn more about the entrepreneurship. Because if you think about it, the employee, you're depending on somebody else to pay you, to see your qualifications, and to help you rise, right? But as an entrepreneur, it's really all up to you. Do you want to work hard or smart? And what industry do you want to go in? And are you willing to grow and better yourself? And my first job was with a local chamber of commerce. And the most funniest thing perhaps was that in Germany, we learn Oxford English. So we can come into the United States with American English. Oxford English is much more like German, like you speak the words. But in American English, you sing them. And that's very hard for a German to sing them. So your sentence like never ends, like what we're talking right now.
A run-on sentence, we call it. There's no period. It just keeps going.
There's no period. So this is really how I started in the United States, that I had to learn to make the best out of my accent, which was hard at the beginning because for American ears, especially in the area where I lived in, they were not used to European accents. For them, it was really strange, and a lot of times they could not really fully understand what I was saying, but they were always kind, and it really helped me to do whatever it takes and not to be sensitive and not to have thin skin and not to take things serious.
Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal or to judge others or feel disrespected. Just focus.
Good life lesson.
Just focus on my goal. What do I want? What do I want to accomplish, and how can I get there? So that was my intro. Yeah. But why don't you share about you? Because I know you're American, but your upbringing, your upbringing was very unusual.
It was. That's a really good question. I'm going to give the short version because, we're already at 4 minutes here. I don't want to give the long one because we need a glass of wine for that. But the short version is my parents were hippies. It was, the 70s. So, and they met on the island of Jamaica in the Caribbean, third largest island in the Caribbean. And they fell in love. And they said one day when they were going to make some money that they were going to move there. And my dad was an actor. My mom was a TV producer. And the story goes, my mom got pregnant with me and said to my dad, well, get a real job now because we have a kid coming. Real job? What do you mean I'm an actor? And he went into commercial real estate, which my grandfather was always in. So in 1990, the house was complete. And another episode, we'll get into that because it's a really interesting story, how they found the land. And because of that, I grew up between New York City and Jamaica. And so talk about culture shock, spending all my whole summer in Jamaica and then going back to school in the fall and go, I have to go to school now. I just want to hang out on the beach and drink jelly water and, and hang out. So yes, I'm American. That as we say in Jamaica, that is true. However, I say I'm Jamaican, meaning that I'm combining both the cultures and the cross-pollination of being in a third world country and being in one of the most successful, thriving cities in the world, known as the concrete jungle of Manhattan. So I think that the combination of those two things helped shape a lot of who I am today. And in business,
Also made you open-minded.
very open-minded.
Very structured, very laid back, so total opposite. So you had to adjust and to fit into both environments.
Absolutely. But you have to come from a unique and organic perspective, right? And my parents always instilled that in my brother and I. Be who you are. Be you. And don't be afraid to be you. And on top of it, don't be afraid to ask. You can always ask for something. So New York, everyone knows, is very fast paced and everyone's aggressive and fighting. And, it's like the old story. It's raining out and you go to get a cab. I'm going back a few years before Ubers. And you put up your hand for the cab and here comes the cab. But someone goes to the other corner because it's raining and they don't want to get wet. So they cut you off and they get the cab first. And in Jamaica, a lot of the people, they don't have a lot, but they're very resourceful and they're smart and they live off the earth. So they might not have anything on their back, right? But they will pull the jelly water from the tree and chop the coconut. They will go and fish and they'll have beautiful lobster to eat, right? So combining those two cultures, I think, helped me to be successful in business in different ways.
Yeah, that totally makes sense for what really Chloe's gift is of bringing people and businesses together who can enrich, empower, and help each other grow.
Well, I paid you to say those things. So,
No.
I mean,
No.
Don't make it too obvious. But I'm glad that you did say that because you and I are similar in that way. And I think that we both have the ability, which, yes, it can be taught and we can help women this, right, along their journey, especially in our coaching sessions. But some people are born with the chutzpah. You know that word? Because
No.
Yeah. You don't know the word chutzpah?
No.
It's a Yiddish word that's really like a Jewish word that the Jews used during the war. And it really came from Germany and Hungary and all of those countries where the Jews lived kind of in the eastern bloc of Europe. Chutzpah is something you're born with. It's
gift.
It's like a male version of saying you have balls. Like nothing can hold you back, and you're not afraid to say or do something. You have the chutzpah to go after things, and I think we both possess that. And I think the chutzpah. A lot of people watching know what chutzpah is,
Okay.
and I think that because you and I both possess that naturally, we didn't learn it. We were kind of both born with it. That will help other women to come out of their shell, because you and I can go into any room, right, with any walks of life and be our true authentic self because we know who we are.
Right.
And we've been around a lot of different people in our life. Some people grow up very sheltered, right? Some people go to school with the same religion or the same nationality or the same walk of life, and they haven't experienced other cultures, right? I think you can drop us anywhere and parachute us, and I think we could find our way to connect with somebody naturally.
So
does that make sense?
Yes. I have to say, chutzpah. It's in me, but it takes me to focus on it and to feel brave about it, to let it out. It's not coming out naturally as a flow. It really takes me the willingness to be seen, the willingness to be heard, because my upbringing was more be the good child, be the good daughter, please everybody, be nice to everybody. And the chutzpah a lot of times requires to say no for things that are not good for you, or stand your ground no matter what, no matter if you're the only one who believe in that and everybody doesn't, or if that you don't want to fit in or to belong to a group who does not share your values, or what you want to accomplish. So I think I had it in me, but it took me phases in my life to get to the point where now, it is just there. But for many, many years, it was in me, but more hidden, more buried. It took bravery to let it come out.
Deep in the subconscious levels, it was there.
Yeah.
I was born with it.
Yeah,
So.
sure.
Now, if my dad's watching this, by the way.
Questions that, please. I think by now you realize how this year goes. So.
Well, I mean, listen, there's an ebb and flow with everything. But when my dad watches this, he'll say, oh, she got it from me. He'll take all my Chutzpah credit. Dad, take it now. Good for you, buddy. But we're going on now 12 minutes. See, this is what happens. We get in our flow of it, and we talk. And it's natural, and it's open, and it's organic. And we will see you all later. We have some wonderful guests coming on this evening, and we can't wait to share it with you guys. Subscribe and follow.
Yeah, subscribe and follow.
ProblemSolvHer.
Thank you.